This is Andi Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm joined by the machine, Anthony Fowler, over Zoom. Anthony, it's been a while, so first and foremost, how are you? How are things going?
All good, thanks, mate. How's things yourself?
All good, all good. It's good to catch up, obviously, for yourself. Now, you've got a fight date back out on July 31st on the Ben Granados card. Roberto Garcia, the man in the opposite corner, and just kind of, for those who aren't familiar with him, just fill everybody in as to what you are expecting.
He's obviously very durable. He's had 50 fights. He's never been stopped. He's only lost 4 or 5 fights, and he's lost the top lads. Liam Smith, Martin Murray, Antonio Margarito. He went distance with all 3 lads, and he's getting on a bit, but he's very active and he's very fit. I think he boxed Liam Smith last year and went 10 rounds, and he pushed Liam as well. He's non-stop work and he's throwing shots. It should be a hard night's work for me.
You mentioned that age, and you mentioned kind of Roberto's durability. Given that time's obviously passing on and it's not on his side, do you look at it as a chance to make a statement? If the stoppage is there, is it a big opportunity, like I say, to kind of make an impression?
Yeah, but I'll try and stop everyone if I can. I'll never go in the ring, won't do it on boots. I'm just trying to win, and obviously if the opportunity arises, I'll take it. So it'd be no different, but I don't want to try and force things against this fella because, like I said, he is very durable. He throws a lot of shots, he smothers you. He's a Mexican. They're obviously very tough fellas, and he must have a granite chin because he's got 50 fights, not get like caught with a cold or caught clean, and must have a good chin, the guy.
After returning to fight camp, and what are you expecting this time around? Obviously, you'll have fans there as well. You've got Tommy McCarthy versus your campmate Chris Smith on the undercard. This time around, though, will it be any different, the atmosphere, knowing that there'll be fans in attendance?
I think it'd be a bit more lively, like walk on the ring. It weren't too bad in fight camp. It was a bit, obviously it was quiet, but like the one after it in Wembley was even more quiet. That was very quiet. I think fight camp was a bit more lively, and I think with 3 of your fans, hopefully they're all pissed and they all make a lot of noise, so it's a bit more realistic.
And I know there was a few names you was considering, names we've spoken about on plenty of occasions. Why Roberto?
No one, honestly, no one to fight me. Not being cocky like all the domestic lads. They all refused to fight. Cheeseman, Fitzgerald. I asked all the lads, the other lads domestically. No one wanted to fight, so we tried to get a few Americans, and they didn't want to fight. Do you know what I mean? Like decent names. And Roberto, just the only person he took the fight. It was really hard to match me. So he's a good like fighter to like gauge myself, because I think at this stage in my career I do need hard rounds, and the fella will come and you'll see you're trying to work me, you're trying to put me, you'll try and beat me. Do you know what I mean? So I think I learn a lot in this fight as well. I like being calm under pressure and not getting overwhelmed by someone trying to smother me and swing and hook. So I think it's a good fight in the stage of my career, and it'll probably be the hardest fight in my career so far too.
And I've seen Eddie actually say in a few interviews that you're one of the toughest guys in the UK stable to match. Why do you think it is? Because just looking at, on paper, if a fighter was to look and see that Fitzgerald lost, they could look at it and think you're not invincible, you are somebody who can be beat. So why do you think people are looking at you now and are seeing maybe a tougher opponent?
Obviously, I'm on a little knockout streak. My last performance, I've done really well. I'm not a very good fighter out in 3 rounds. I'm obviously massive for the weight. I'm big and strong. Maybe they're not getting offered enough money, or they don't think the risk is worth it for whatever reason. So there's obviously a reason behind it. I just take it as a compliment, but I need to like be boxing these top boys. I have to shame that none of the domestic lads would fight me, because we all want a domestic clash. You know what I mean? Like, me and Cheeseman would have been massive, but I can't make them fight me. So I need to just keep pushing on. And if you won't box me domestically, I'll just keep pushing forward. I've got a high world ranking now. I'm ranked number 10 with the WBA and WBO, and the IBF number 14. So I'm ranked in 3 of the governing bodies, so I can start pushing towards that world title now. It's a shame that I can't go through the traditional route, but I can't make them fight me, and I can't wait around forever.
It's something I was going to ask, Have you got any more of kind of a time period you would allow for one of those big domestic clashes to take place, or is this very much now you're looking at Roberto, then you're looking at the European scene and onwards?
Yeah, I think we're past it now. The domestic scene. I think like the patience is wore thin. Like I could have waited to box like Sam Egerton, say at the end of the year, got man 3, and then Cheeseman would have had another what's it called, fancy defence if he beats 3. So I could wait until next summer, and like I'm 30 years of age now, I can't be waiting around another year to box for a British title. So I'm just gonna keep pushing forward now and try and go for it.
And what do you make of Cheeseman versus Williamson?
I think it's a good fight. I think it's gonna be a good hard contest. True's me and True are half mates. Me and True get on well. Obviously, if we boxed, it'd be a fight, but I'm back. I hope True wins. He's a good lad, and it's an hard fight for him. Like Cheeseman's got a bit more experience. I think it's a 50-50 fight, and hopefully True comes through.
So just to move on from yourself, just looking at the camp in general, as I mentioned, Chris Billam-Smith, Tommy McCarthy on the same bill as your own. How is Chris doing?
Yeah, he's doing really well. He sparred really good last week. He looks on fire already. He's got 6 weeks left or something, and he looks ready, mate. And he's got that bit between his teeth for this fight. Obviously, it's a big opportunity for him. And Chris is a really hard worker anyway. He works really hard, the fella. And I think he'll beat Tommy. I think he's a bit bigger and strong than Tommy. Tommy's a good boxer, but I think Chris is the bigger man in there. And it'll show.
We've seen kind of a few jibes in interviews between Chris and Tommy going back and forwards a little bit. Have you seen anything extra within Chris in preparations? Have you seen that extra maybe motivation to overcome Tommy because of what's been said and the little jibes, like I say, that they've had back and forward?
To be honest, mate, Chris just works really hard regardless, the guy. So I don't think he could train much harder than what he does. Like, I was impressed with Chris when I first came to this gym. Like, I didn't really know much about him. I knew obviously a Coley and Campbell, but Chris really impressed me. He's got a lot of grit and determination, and on the circuits and stuff, he puts the graft in really, really well. And obviously in the gym we all train hard regardless, but Chris has got a lot of grit, and same all really. I don't think we same myself. I don't think I could train much harder than what I do. I just like we put it all in, and that's all we can do really, is give it 100% every day.
I just want to touch on the new joiner to the gym, Daniel Dubois, and how's he settled in?
Yeah, he's cool. You know, when he first came a few weeks ago, he didn't really speak much. He just come in, got his business done, kept his head down, got off. But since he come back after his win, he's a bit more chatty. He's a bit more relaxed now in the new gym. He's having a bit of banter with the lads and stuff, so he's a bit more calm. And I'm looking forward to watching his journey on the Shane as well. I think he's going to progress and do big things in the sport.
Talk to me about him and watching him in the gym. What impresses you the most about him? Is there anything that you've seen in the gym that we might not have seen in a fight of his so far?
Not necessarily. Yeah. He's very much business man. That he comes to the gym, he doesn't, like I said, he doesn't really say much. He just gets his wraps on, gets warmed up, starts smashing the bags and pads, and gets off. Do you know what I mean? So he just comes to the gym and works hard. I mean, like I'd expect. In sparring, I've seen him in sparring. He does the rounds well. He's got a high pace. He's trying to kill them. Do you know what I mean? He's a very aggressive fighter. Like some kid come to the gym not long ago. I won't say his name obviously, but he was a very experienced fighter, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm sparring Dubois." And I thought, "Oh, mate." I think he lasted about 10-15 seconds on the floor. He was, and I thought, "Can't come to the gym like that, mate, unless this Dubois just got one for he's on you." There's no chill with the guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I probably would have moved the kid around a bit, but Dubois just would put him on his toes, and if I was on the floor within 15 seconds, do you know what I mean? So he's got that kill mentality where he's trying to hit them every second of every round type of thing.
Speaking about kind of Daniel's mentality there, and obviously we know about the power he possesses. So would you ever fancy doing some pad work with him and holding him mitts?
I'm gonna say spar, man. I'm gonna say fuck that, wouldn't you? Man. Maybe I might hold the pads, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? I don't need that weight on my shoulders, mate. I'll leave it to Shane. He's conditioned.
And obviously just moving on to Lawrence Okoli as well. And I've seen a few bits that he's back in the gym. Has he been doing life as world champion now? Have you seen, again, just anything different with him? Have you seen an extra bounce in his step?
Now, to be fair, before the fight, I was saying to him, "Listen, lad, don't start changing. You know, you in this world title, start thinking you're too good and all that. You better stay humble." And to be fair, he's just the same old odds. He's just a good guy, mate. He just, you know what I mean, just a chill guy, and To be fair, you might think me working harder since he won that belt, if anything. He seems to be like working a little bit harder. Like he's been doing all the circuits and stuff at 100%, where in the past he's been guilty of just going through the motions and stuff. So I think he's actually working harder. I think it's a bit more motivation for him to go on to unify. So I'm impressed with him.
Have Lawrence and Daniel shared any rounds yet in sparring?
Yeah, I think they only done 4 rounds before Daniel's last fight, and it was a good competitive 4 rounds. No one was trying to make mistakes. Like Lawrence wasn't getting involved. He was trying to be cautious because obviously Lawrence isn't fit yet, so he's going to start going half a level with Dubois, does he? So Lawrence was just being clever in there and using his experience, and Dubois was throwing a few big shots, but he didn't land on them on him.
And also just want to get a word on the GB boys and the girls who have qualified for the Tokyo Olympics. Somebody who's come through that system yourself. Many people, some people you would have trained with, the likes of Galal Yafai, Fraser Clark. What did it mean for you to be able to see those guys finally reach the Olympics? In Galal's case, once again.
Yeah, you know what? Especially Fraser, mate, like that proper. I swear, I probably would have cried if Fraser wouldn't have qualified. I would have been broken hearted for the guy because he was in that squad before me. You know what I mean? He's been on that squad since fucking all the Allison days, I think. He's been in that squad for years, mate. So he had to qualify Fraser. You know what I mean? He had to. Like, would have been so sad if he never. And like, he had a tough draw. So especially I'm happy with them all. I'm made up for all of them, but especially for Fraser, just because he deserves it more than anyone. He's been in the squad. I think it's decade or something. But they're all class lads. I think only one lad didn't qualify, Lewis Richardson, which is unlucky because he got the world champion first fight, which is sad, to be fair, because he boxed really well as well. I thought he won the first round, but the kid was a bit too strong for him in the last 2. But yeah, the team and great, mate, and like the credit to all the coaches. I've got a lot of love for GB. Like I had a good 7 years down there, and like you do get close to them all. They're all like family, and I'm really happy for them all, and hopefully we get some medals in Tokyo.
And when I spoke to Fraser, he said he's never felt nerves like it when he was in the ring. Everything was qualifying. He said he could feel like those, he had lead boots on. Could you understand that because of how long he's waited for that opportunity?
I remember my qualifier, and obviously I had in the squad 4 or 5 years, and I lost my semi-final bout me. So when all the lads boxed the semi-final, most of them won. Like, it was about 8 of us fighting, and I'm the only lost. So like I had to box the next day, and then that night all the lads were all celebrating we qualified. Lawrence was in my room, and he just qualified, and I was lying there thinking, "Fucking bastard, why can't I qualify?" And I was a bit like scared of not qualifying. And I had to box the next day. I had to wait at 6 in the morning, mad enough, and I didn't get a wink of sleep. Me, the lad did all night. I couldn't sleep the whole night, and then my alarm went off before I even knew I was being asleep. Do you know what I mean? So I weighed in, and like I remember the pressure on me, and like I remember saying to myself, whatever happens, mate, you've done yourself proud. You've worked as hard as you possibly can. Whatever happens, happens. Like, but even so, you want to qualify badly. Do you know what I mean? And like in my fight, the kid must have been the same as me. The kid must have been just as nervous because in round 1, he absolutely punches Evan. He must have froze in the first round and I just punched Evan, and then the last 2 rounds he just come at me for everything he had, and like it was a really close, hard fight, and he was butting me, he was grabbing me, he was trying his best to qualify, and like I was just trying to stick to my boxing, and lucky enough I qualified, thank God, because I was the same as him. My legs were like bricks. I'd had 5 fights that week to qualify, like, so I was half finished before the fight even started. I was knackered, so it was a hard fight, mate. But that feeling of qualifying, one of the best feelings I've ever had. It was unbelievable. Like, it's all them years of graft as an amateur. You don't get paid no money. You're just doing it for a dream, and like when I actually achieved that dream, it was unbelievable. So it made it all worthwhile.
Do you think as a pro you've ever felt that, and maybe not necessarily to the same level, but you felt your legs stiffen up when entering? Might have been on your debut, maybe for the Fitzgerald fight. Have you ever felt it?
To be fair, no. I think in my pro career I've been too relaxed. That was the problem early on. It was too easy for me. With the Fitzgerald fight, I was the opposite. I was too overconfident. I was too cocky. I was the opposite to that. When I boxed Brian Rose, I wasn't nervous for that fight because I thought, if I lose this fight here, I'm fucked. I can't afford to lose 2 in the run. Do you know what I mean? I would have been getting I would have rather down to the bottom of the pecking order. So that fight was there was a bit of nerves, and in the changing for the fight, I'm normally laughing and joking that. But that fight, I was a bit more a bit more nervous. Where since then, I've been the last few fights as well. I feel confident again. I don't really feel as though you should be like nervous. You should be confident. You shouldn't be walking around like scared. You should be like, I've worked hard. I know what I'm capable of, and like I'm gonna execute the game plan. I don't believe in like being all nervous all the time because it wastes energy.
And just a couple of thoughts, trying to get your thoughts on them before I let you go. Just sticking with your division, an undisputed bout is on its way. Charlo Castano. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a great fight. I think obviously Charlo's the best in the division. He's like the main man. He's been around, but Castino, I've seen him for a long time. I remember him when I was in I remember in 2013. I was boxing at Algerian, and I looked at his record, and he boxed someone called Castino and been stopping him. So I watched Castino, and he looked really good. He beat Errol Spencer's amateur as well that I seen back then, and obviously he's a pro. I think he's unbeaten. I think he's unbeaten yet, and he's come through with he's relentless work. He's busy. I just think Charles with the extra class and the extra punch power and the extra experience, which we'll probably see him win. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's an upset because Castino can fight.
And of course, moving forward, somebody else Anthony Joshua. Everybody was waiting on that Tyson Fury fight. Unfortunately, it all fell through, and instead now we'll see Fury Wilder 3 and what seems most likely AJ versus Usyk. Just your thoughts, firstly, on the entire fallout from that situation and the fact we will now see a trilogy bout between Fury and Wilder.
Yeah, it was a shame, to be honest. It was a shame that we were all made up for the fight and everyone was buzzing for the fight. I was thinking about going over and stuff like that. It was going to be a massive occasion. But I think it still will happen. I think Joshua's too big for Usyk. I think it's stylistically a hard fight. But I think just the sheer size of Joshua, he's a big man, mate. He's powerful and he's fast as well. So looking at Chisora's performance against Usyk, Chisora made Usyk very uncomfortable in there, and he struggled. And Joshua's bigger than Delboy, and he's faster and he's stronger than Delboy. So as long as Joshua can get the pressure on him, not stand off, because if he stands off, he might get outboxed. As long as he can get on top of Usyk and work on the inside and bully him, I think Joshua should come through. And also Fury seems to be in Wilder's head. I think Wilder's going to get outclassed again. I think he's a beaten man. He's trying to get his confidence up of his coach and stuff, but I think once the first bell goes and he sees the size of Fury in there, I think all the flashbacks will come back to him, and I think Fury will stop him again.
All right, and we will leave it there now. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your evening. I appreciate your time as always. So thanks for speaking to Boxing Social.
Thanks a lot, mate. Have a good one.